Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
We certainly want to tell you that you can go to the App Store and download TV 33 on demand, and that's one way you can take us along with you. Thank you for tuning in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host.
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
We want to say good morning to all of you. Good morning to Dolores and Katrina and Carl, and to Doris and to Al, to Rosa and to Vera, of course, and Thabiti. So.
I want to give shout outs to Sister Jackie, Sister Ruth Ann, Professor Griggs, Brother James Ford, Obama Day, and as I always ask you to have pen and paper handy for first to write down the numbers that you see on the bottom of the screen. Those are the call-in numbers, and then to record information that may be useful to you in the future.
Absolutely. We want you to know that we have a guest with us this morning, and the video and introduce our guest.
Yes, I had the pleasure of meeting his brother a few weeks ago and found him to be knowledgeable and powerful. The brother's name is Chungalia. Again, that's Chungalia. And now I'm going to ask my good brother, who is Chungalia?
Nisamehe, which means pardon me in Swahili. My name is Chungalia Imwezi. I was named by Dr. Maulana Karinga in my home, Los Angeles, in early 66. I was 16 years old, and I was part of the Simba Chungas in us organization. And I was raised first three and a half to 4 years of my life as a teenager in us organization. And I learned purpose, identity, and direction. And this is some knowledge I come to share with you all today, my experience in being raised in the struggle in Los Angeles just after the Watts riot. Vibrations.
Mm-hmm. The US organization that you were a part of was founded by whom and for the purpose of?
This organization was founded by Dr. Maulana Karinga.
Okay.
This organization was based on Dr. Maulana Karinga's philosophy of Kawaida. Kawaida produced a doctrine called the Nguzo Saba. Mm-hmm. The Nguzo Saba are 7 days of Kwanzaa are based on the Nguzo Saba. But I learned the Nguzo Saba 8-9 months prior Kwanzaa. Mm-hmm. The Nguzo Saba is a value system based on tradition and reason, from Maulana Karinga's doctrine, Kawaida. It's all based on tradition and reason. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, we're African people, but through reason and circumstances, we're in America. So everything we do should be based on tradition and reason. In us organization, Maulana had a handbook for Simba Chungas, teaching that in the 7 principles. Mm-hmm. And then in the fall of 66, he rolled out the chalkboard, and he wrote Kwanzaa on the chalkboard, and broke it down in syllables, and said it means the coming of the first fruit, and the first Kwanzaa will be at the Los Angeles Palladium. Mm-hmm. We'll have Zulu dancers, Watusi dancers, and boot dancers. Mm-hmm. And I was a boot dancer. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Los Angeles Palladium, and it's a real big Palladium and Exhibition Park. Mm-hmm. But as a result, too, all the organizations coming together, we filled that place up.
Wow.
And afterwards, we went to Lelambula and Mary McKeever's house for an after party. Mm-hmm. And Mary McKeever sung the Go-Go Twining click song for us. I never will forget that day. I was 16-year-old, and I was just amazed, you know. And Then Kwanzaa got started, you
Yes.
know. And Kwanzaa is a value system that all people need to know. I tell people all the time, we say them traditionally, based on tradition and reason, through the Swahili. But if you say them in English, you understand that those principles are something that everybody needs. You know, it's a value system that we all need. And this gave birth to the 7 days of Kwanzaa. And it's all based on his doctrine, Kawaida. This based on tradition and reason. And that's what the basis of Dr. Maulana Karenga's cultural input on the black struggle in America. I'm honored to be named by him. He was in 1967. He was on the front page of Look magazine as the highest rated genius at UCLA at 23 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
And to be raised under him for a person like me to get in the hood, to be raised under somebody like him, is an experience that I will never, ever forget, and I will never, ever disrespect, because the values, I was there at the birth of the Kwanzaa, a part of the first Kwanzaa. I try to do presentations at the Charles Wright Museum and about this, because the value system that has created all the black schools. We have a great woman here, ancestor, Mommy Humphrey. She built the first shule here. My daughter, Biafra Mwezi, went there when she was 6 years old in 76. And they put her on the cover of their Kwanzaa program because they knew where her dad came from.
You know, it's interesting you should mention Mama Imani Humphrey, because when I was at Martin Luther King High School, where I got a lot of cultural upbringing as well, because it was oriented around our culture and named after Martin Luther King as well. And she was my English teacher there before she went to Aisha Shule. So when she went to Aisha Shule, I just felt, that my heart is with her right there. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing. And I want to ask you, brother, just for the audience, tell them what the definition of Chungalia is.
My name Chungalia means to analyze. See, so there's a little history with that. I was named him. My daddy was Mr. Juice Moon, and I was with the school as Moon. Didn't help me out none though. But they started calling me Mwezi for the first 8 months of us organization. Mwezi means by the light of the moon, because I was Moon when I grew up. But I changed that because Maulana said dogs and slaves are named by their masters and free minds named themselves. And everyone should have a name that speaks to what they do. And so he said, you're an analyzer. You should be Chungalia. And I said, Chungalia is a girl's name, man. He said, no, it's not. He showed me where African warriors used Chungalias to define their warfare. Chungalia means to analyze, and Mwezi means by the light of the moon. So my name means to analyze by the light of the moon. No wonder I became a master astrologer in numerology and astrology, because destiny is our reality.
Wow. That's wonderful.
I put a lot in one little nutshell for you. I'm sorry I have a habit of doing it, but a lot of information in one little nutshell,
No.
so you can walk with it.
No, that's fine. And it helps those who are tuned in to understand it easier as well. And I'm glad that we have this opportunity to talk about Kwanzaa, because I have an issue with the fact that it's not practiced and presented as much as it should. And as I thought about it, analyzed it, as you say, I began to realize that school is out, okay? And school is where most of our children get most of their information. So you have the beginning of December, which is, Hanukkah or something. Yeah. Then on December 25th, you have Christmas, and that's religious, and it's also corporate, because you got Santa Claus thrown in there too. But by that time, K through 12 is out for vacation. So when the Kwanzaa practice and celebration begins on December the 26th, they're not in school. They can't get reinforcement, which in my opinion is what is needed as it relates to the principles, etc. And if you have teachers who are conscious and concerned, they will talk about it before the vacation break. If not, our young children don't know. Can we talk about Kwanzaa, say the first day of Kwanzaa? Can you share that with us? And
Emoji. Emoji is unity. See, and unity starts in the mirror. See, all the problem as we've progressed since the first Kwanzaa in '66 to now, we've learned that all the problems are internal; they're not external. See, inside of you, especially in the generational thing that we've drawn to, in this century that we're living in, like this computer world that wasn't going on when Kwanzaa was created. We've lost 4 decades of our children, and they're on some other kind of medicine of technology, facing their reality because they've had to live when we're gone. But we have to find a way to guide them and not let them be a victim of technology killing humanity.
yeah,
But they won't listen to us because the psychology has overwhelmed them with OG and old school, and they don't listen to the elders. You know, and one of my heroes, Mama L. Hogan, said that if your sabi don't be extended to your children, your sabi gonna die when you die. See, and this is what we being victim of, but also it's an era change. This ain't the roaring 20s with prohibition no more. It gave way to Motowns. Motowns gave way to rap music. Everything's given away to something. So now the cultural struggle in the civil rights movement of the 60s is giving away to technology. That's the modern day reality. But ain't no humanity in there. So old humanitarians like us, we won't touch it. But the children are all over it. So this means that when we go, that's what they're gonna be doing. So it's just an era change, and we got to learn to communicate with our kids better in this era change.
well, I want to interject a commercial right there. When you speak about learning, I need to let everybody know who is tuned in. If they want to learn more about the technology, if you're 60 years of age or older, you could take classes free of charge at Wayne County Community College. Free of charge, 60 years of age and older. There have been loved ones who have given their parents, grandparents, and others a computer. And the computer sits over in the corner in the box in the dark, just crying, take me out. Learn how to use me. They need to know that Wayne County Community College can do just that.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing to know.
And I am a student, have been a former student, and will continue to be a student because the price is right, as they say. And to those of you, as Theo was mentioning about the the computer, your cell phone is a computer as well, and you can learn many things. The same skills that you can do on a computer, you can do on your cell phone. So I would say to any who are 60 and older, to take advantage of that. It's helped me tremendously in my life, and it's a jewel in our community as well, Wayne County Community College, and shout out to Dr. Ivory.
They have the beginners, learning how to use the computer. Then they have a second step, which is navigating the internet. And then the third, class is more advanced, of course. But people need to take advantage of what is right here in their own city, their own neighborhoods. There are 3 campuses, one on the Outer Drive and Southfield Freeway, one on the east side, right across from the airport, I-94 Connor exit, and there's one downtown, right near the main post office. So there's a lot of information that's available to our people at Wayne County Community College. Now tell us the second Kwanzaa principle.
Kuchagalia, self-determination, to determine for myself and not be defined for by others. To tell the world what I'm going to do and not be told what to do. Self-determination is a principle that none of these values are going to move anywhere if you don't have self-determination. To define for myself and not be defined for by others. To tell the world what I'm going to do, not let the world tell me what to do with my soul and my own body. See, that's where we are produced the term technology kills humanity.
Okay, but when you talk about that, is there a age that should be referred to. I mean, some 7-year-olds, they say, are not mannerable. They're difficult to control. Are they saying, you can't tell me what to do? I'm determining. We need to talk about that a little
Yeah,
more in
well,
depth.
that's the European culture that we've been kidnapped to, and the European uses the term divide and conquer to rule his empire, and you just identifying a finite position of divide and conquer. If they divide the family structure, then what's that going to do with the image of daddy? Huh? But when daddy controls the family structure, they're making him look like he ain't nothing in front of his own children. And this is how they use divide and conquer to take care of the morality, take care of the charge of the morals and the values, along with the idiot box, giving us morals and values. They have techniques. See, we got to understand everything comes from thought matter. Where thought go, energy flow and obey. And we get the negative thoughts from television, and then we activate it. And the television is controlling the realities that go on in the culture that we have established in our own individual private homes. And
Yeah, well, one of the things I was going to add to the thought of self-determination is that, let's say, I'm going to look back at Marcus Garvey, but certainly it precedes that. Even in his frame of thought, self-determination, one Africa, one unity, the whole structure of his philosophy was self-determination. But we've had those people throughout our cultural existence here, although we haven't been able to, let's say, implement it on a large scale level. I mean, I think Garvey was the only one who was able to have a strong international thing. So self-determination, to what you were saying, Theo, is even with the youth, first they have to have guidance, and so we are the light. We have to guide them first. And as the brother was saying, if the father and the family structure is not there, then you don't have the guide or the light. So self-determination cannot manifest itself without having some sort of a guide or a light to show the direction. And the direction is where self-determination becomes reality.
yeah.
Okay.
Then, if you look at the manner in which the 7 principles are structured, you see it's an order, unity. You gotta be unified to do anything. Self-determination. If you ain't gonna be self-determined, you ain't gonna manifest a proper unity. And then the next one is Ujima, collective work and responsibilities. If you ain't got unity and self-determination, you ain't doing no collective work and responsibilities. Then you got Ujima, cooperative economics.
Wait, we want to go one at a time.
Okay, but I'm saying it's down the line. It's a building block
I got
situation.
you.
Okay, where you want to go next?
The third one, collective works and responsibility.
Ujima, collective work and responsibilities.
Okay.
Without the others, you're not doing proper work.
So when you say collective works, does that mean working with members in the community or within the family? Give us an example.
Within the
of that.
structure of Emoja. See, it's a structure. Everything with Maulana is a structure. He's a master, and it has to be a structure. Unity has 7 levels, and self-determination does, and it all creates the collective work. See, the collective work ain't done if you ain't got no unity or self-determination. And then as we move on, when you're ready to move on, we will. We go to Ujima, cooperative economics. It all creates the same value system and the same destiny, because we got to work our way up to number 7, Imani, faith. We can't have that faith without no structure. All of them, they're like building blocks.
I understand.
And
Okay.
they're all important.
Well, I just want those who are tuned in to work with you, because this Kwanzaa principle, the Kwanzaa days, need to be shared throughout the community, and they have not been shared as strong, as often, or as far and wide as they should be. Now, we have participated for the past, 3-4 years at the Museum of African American History. And we do the last one, which is faith. Every year we have done this. And now we're told that the folks at the museum don't want us there. You know, that you should do it in the community. Not that we shouldn't do it in the community. It can be done in multiple locations, but you should not be pushed out of the African American Museum that Dr. Charles Wright worked his whole life to create.
I know. When I first got here from Los Angeles, I was living on Warren and Vinewood, 1 block from Warren Boulevard, where he started at.
That's right.
I remember in that basement over there getting
yes.
started. Come on now. So first thing I saw in October '68 when I got here, 1 block from where I was sleeping at. But my point, you know, and you're absolutely right. But we have to learn to build these blocks as we go. You know, and it was a time when Kwanzaa had its era. I want to tell you how strong Kwanzaa impacted the city of Detroit that we don't remember. One of Maolan's very good friends here, Maolan used to call me back in the early '70s, checking on Smitty with his buddy, Baba Pamoja, the Simbas and the Maliikas at Weber Junior High School in 71 and 72. Those brothers in 79, they marched from the Boulevard and Tireman all the way up to Greenfield and Tireman to the WC3, the Greenfield Center when I was there. And we had Dr. Ben Yosef Bohannon come. The Simbas and the Maliikas was on Tireman from the Boulevard to Greenfield. Jale Tune, Jale Tune. And they marched all the way down there. And that reminded me of when I was in this organization on Broadway going to the Congress building from 82nd to 73rd. Jale Tune. But we was wearing all gis for the karate team. A bunch of us in the middle of Broadway going for our karate practice every Saturday morning. Jale Tune. And Weber's, they did. So it was an era that we did have Detroit really in the Kwanzaa. It created Mommy Mount and Humphrey, Bob Moses Smitty and them, okay, and at Weber Junior High School. And so Kwanzaa had its day in Detroit, and we're still trying to hang on to that.
Right.
Because we know we need it. We need a
the big
Kwanzaa
problem.
in the
They need it
summer.
desperately.
I've been telling we need a Kwanzaa celebration in the middle of the summer. If it's a picnic at Belle Isles, Kwanzaa Belle Isles picnic. We'd only do it in December.
Right.
Right.
And you know, unfortunately, that time of the year, nobody wants to get out. You know, and I have said on this show before that it's 7 day. You know, there's 7 principles of Kwanzaa. We celebrated over a 7-day period. Well, I felt like every week we start over at the beginning again with Umoja, and then keep running that to the 7th day. Then when we get to the 8th day, which will be the first day of Kwanzaa again, so that way it remains consistent. And if not, at least, every week we follow that pattern, then we do it, like you say, in summer when we know people are out, really make it a festive thing. Because I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but there was a group that used to have it was in the last part of African Liberation Day, and we used to go for like a 3-day period. They used to have it over at Northwestern High School, and so that was one of and they had the parade marches. I think it's been over 10 years since I've seen it, because they did it over on Davison probably about 10 years ago. Davison, right off of, I'd say, between Linwood and Dexter, right in that area. But my thing was that if we could have it repeated over a period of time, then it ingrains itself. And as Theo said, when the children are out from December 26th to January 1st, there's no, I mean, they playing with their toys, whatever they're doing, there's no consciousness or culture being given to them. And it's like a vacation. So that's why, and it's unfortunate, as she said, that they don't want to do it now, but we know that there are other cultural influences, negative influences, who would like to just take over the museum. But we're getting to the bottom of the hour.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
Okay. It's time to take a break, a station identification break. And as much as we are enjoying this, we must take that break. Call somebody, tell them to tune in and listen as well. And we'll be back momentarily.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and Friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
Just go to your app and download TV33, and you can take us along with you. It's TV33 on demand. We were during the break talking about counting in Swahili, and hey, think about that. That is so cool. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we need to be bilingual. I'll put it like that.
Yes. Now, maybe you want to share some of your knowledge with those who are tuned in. At least we can count a few numbers. Maybe we can remember that.
You said some of the experiences I've had
Yes.
from my first awakening since late '65 to now. When I got here, I was magnetism drew me to the Kabas by Brother Kahaji. It was Mama L. Hogan's husband for 35 years that built the Kabas Center. We were talking about brother.
Right.
And there's Ife is still here, Kahaji's daughter, excuse me. And but Kahaji left more than that with us. He was our man from the Atlantis. You know, and this brother, he brought astrology here underground in '68. It astrology gave birth in the brain of my minister, Dr. Minister Saladin, that I attend his church with an allegiance It's internal, and we will always be on the one. We're studying with the sun through astrology. But as a result, to my metaphysical experience since 73 to now, I've learned it's hard to teach people on the go the science of the sun and the 12 signs of the zodiac. But 9 numbers of numerology. You got the video, man. I can teach that in 15, 20 minutes to anybody. If you got 1 to 9, I got a way to grip it in your brain. And so I kind of chose that to throw out as for information for people that haven't learned the metaphysical truths that I've been taught. See, just wasn't just drawn to one of the genius, Dr. Karinga. When I came here and ran into the Kabaz and Kahaji, the man from Atlantis, then Brother Vesta, tutored, guru'd me for a lot of years. And then Minister Saladin got out the Army. I was right there for him in 74. And we've been on the one since 74. I was, been filming his church at boxes and boxes of videos of how we tracking the sun. We've been tracking the sun 20 years, more than that, like it ain't nothing. 20 years go to us.
Now, I was going to say, as an example, I'll let myself be first, and then Theo can participate if she want. You always ask the person the month and the day of their birth. So mine's is January 4th or 1/4.
That's 4-1. It's
right,
5.
Right.
4 and 1 is 5.
Yeah.
And 5 is a number of change. See, all these numbers have a character. Like, let me give you an example. If you're 5, right? What's your month and day born, my sister?
April 18th.
Okay, that's numbers. Give me numbers. 418.
Oh, I'm
418,
sorry.
418. Okay, 418. Okay,
Mhm.
4 and 1 is 5, and 8 more is 13, and 1 and 3 is 4.
Mhm.
So you organizer and a planner. And,
Oh,
and
wow.
I just told you, I know that. You told your numbers what?
5.
5. Okay,
Right.
now what's 5 and 4? 9. The relationship between you all is 9, because you bring the 4. She brings the 9 to the mix, and you bring the other, which makes 4. In the relationship between you all is
9.
Wait a minute, I got a little bit confused.
Mine is 4, his is 5.
Okay, it's 5. Because any number in the 5, 9, any number the reason I got confused is somebody ain't told you yet. Because the relationship, y'all, is a relationship of 9. You're always completing stuff. 9's the number of completions. Y'all gonna get, if y'all was in a box where you couldn't do nothing, you'll get bored because you're looking to complete something. You know what I'm saying? That's what 9 is about, the relationship between the two of you. But I want to tell you that all the numbers have a behavior pattern that we character behaviors. And I can teach children this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Astrology is a class you have to go through, at least a 9-day class, to understand who you are, But them are 2 metaphysical offers I have to teach people. The numbers are very simple. Astrology is the science of the sun, and it starts from Aries, number 1, the atom of thinking, and it tells a story of all 12 signs.
Wow. Oh, we have someone who wants to ask a question on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Tawana Morris, and I'm viewing you on Channel 90, Comcast.
Oh, a Comcast. Thank you for calling in. What's your month and day of birth?
Mine is 03/30/1955.
March the 30th?
Month
Yeah.
and day.
Just a month and day.
That's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a person of balance, fairness, and judgment. Always talking about what's fair and what ain't fair. And she always judging distances and where to go and how to do this. Because 6 is about balance.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And Dio, I thank the gentleman for having the spirit and the power to talk about those type things, because when you talk about information that's not commonly known to the everyday people, they'll think something wrong with you. And I happen to have studied along those lines in the spiritual sense, and I understand him. I applaud him to keep on speaking truth and developing in the human natural way of people to understand who believe differently than we do.
Right.
Vibrations.
That's right.
They're all cosmic vibrations she's speaking of.
What is the day and month of Elizabeth's birthday?
9/9.
That's 18.
That's 18. 81
Guess
is
what?
9.
I'm going to tell y'all something. See, I'm glad you said that, sister. But 9/9 is 18 and 1/8 is 9 again. I'm glad you came there. The Father brought us this dilemma, and I get to show you something.
Right.
In the school system, they covered up numerology by hiding any number from 9 to 20, like 10 to 20. All them teen numbers are numbers built to divert you from the reality of numerology, which shows the school system was built to teach you away from numerology and away from astrology. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you throw a 3 and 9, you get 12. 1 and 2 is 3 again. Throw a 5 and 9, you get 14. 1 and 4 is 5 again. Throw a 6 and 9, you get 15. 1 and 5 is 6 again. Any number you throw at 9, come back and say, throw a 9 and 9, you get 18, but 1 and 8 is 9. So the point I'm saying is, because 9 is a father number, because everybody has a mama, daddy, and you inside of you. Everything you think is 3, 4. Mama, daddy, and you. What's 3 times 3? 9. So all our thought processes don't go further than 9. A 10 is a 1 with a 0, searching for a hero on the left-hand side.
Still 1. And 9 means, what was 9?
9 means completion, because you complete when you get to 9. So by her number being 9, she's the kind of person that always wants to summarize stuff. People say she's impatient because she's pushing, because when you get to 9, it's a circle, go right back to 1, new beginnings. And so 9s are pushing for the new beginnings. So 9 people seem impatient, but they not. They just higher mind want to go to the next level.
All right. Completing things. That's great.
All numbers have characters.
Right.
And I just add this footnote real quick, and I want to ask the other caller to just hold on. But one of the things when through Theo I was able to speak with, and I told you this on the phone, Dick Gregory, but he's a doctor as far as I'm concerned, because his level of knowledge makes him that. You don't have to have a piece of paper in order to, verify or validate you, because what you know is what validates you. And one of the things he has said, because I have some tapes that he did back here in Detroit, this would have been in the 80s, and he was speaking about the number of 9, completeness or God, and he even went through the thing that you said, whatever you do with 9, and then you add it to it's going to come right back to that. And he spoke of it as God is like 9, and then all the other numbers come up in it. He his lectures always cover so many different topics within the lecture that he couldn't just focus on that one thing. But that's the one thing in his lecture that always stuck with me, the number of 9 and numerology. And he also said, I'll add this and then we'll continue. He said that that's one of the things we should truly learn. Now, he was very learned in it, but again, his knowledge, he's covering social, cultural, numerology. He's covering so many things that you'd actually, like this brother said, have to go to a class to be able to understand and grasp it. And as Tawana said, we're on that on a spiritual level, but we keep getting penetrated, like you said, by the idiot box and all these other things. So all these things distract us from what our true nature is, which is unfortunate, because it's just like when, let's just say, the European came and he showed those little pretty trinkets and all that stuff, colorful things. He was able to deceive us, get us off our square, and we pretty much been off our square since then, trying to get back.
Well, please let me give this tip, like just one real quick. All numbers have meaning. I'm running to you to hear the pattern. It's a pattern. 1 is new beginnings. 2 is cooperation. 3 is optimism. 4 is organizing and planning. 5 is change. 6 is balance and fairness. 7 is meditational research and deep thinking. 8 is money, business, and deep insights. 9 is completion. Then you cycle all the way over to new beginnings again. Wow. See, it's a pattern in the number. That's why I can't let you go without hearing the pattern.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right. It's a pattern. It's a working pattern plan for your life.
Oh, wow. Now, Tawana?
Yes.
Okay. Would you please get the flyer, and we're going to take this next caller, And then would you please share that information with us after we take this next caller? Okay.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get this thing to lock. Okay, I got the lock. Now let me see if I can go to the next caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? I lost her.
Black Souls Like Gold, Silverado.
There she is. Happy Monday to you.
918.
918. 8 and 9 and 9 is
That's
nine
simple.
again.
That's 9 again.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, 9
That's
plus
Sylvia.
9.
if you watch that video,
She's so
the
silly.
first 4 people called that I gave you are 8s.
Right.
The first 4 people were 8s. This is happening again. This is with the 9. If I, the people call 9's number of completions. Okay, and 9 keep coming up. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Right.
It's amazing how that happens. But a young lady, you're the person that people say are impatient, right? They call you impatient because you're always pushing for a new beginning. Because 9 has to go to 1, it's recycle itself. So 9 people are looking for a new beginning. You get bored of stuff stay the same because you're looking for change, a new beginning.
Yeah, all the time.
And they call you
Right down-
impatient and
down
pushy.
to the 9.
They call you impatient and pushy a little bit. But you see the higher mind. You see the way they're going. You done ate that thought up and you ready for the next thought. And people ain't that fast. They ain't fast as you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you. I'll be there soon.
All right.
All right.
I lost Tawana. I'm sure she'll call back.
Okay.
Yeah, these buttons,
All
like
right.
the brother say,
Okay,
technology. I messed
right.
up.
Well, Tawana, we're looking forward to you calling back. Okay. While we wait on her, we stopped at
3 or 4.
cooperative economics, I think.
Okay,
Okay.
we're back to the Nguzo Saba.
Yeah,
The
right, we don't wanna lose
cooperative
that.
economics is Uji Mall. Uji Mall is where you tend to see we're living in a capitalistic government,
Yes.
but Africa is not capitalism. Africa is socialism. Capitalism has a poison in it called self-preservation, and they all kill themselves when they like crabs in a barrel. They pull each other down. But we are in a socialistic world. In Uji Mall, you have to use co-oping money to be social with money. So, like Baba Malik Zucchini is a perfect example. He's created a co-op for years ago. Now we got a market being built as a result to Baba Malik Zucchini.
Malik Zucchini,
Yeah, Baba Malik Zucchini. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He is wow. He's a savior for black people in the culture struggle. Bob Malik Zucchini is one of my best friends, and he is a savior.
We had him on a month or two ago.
Yeah.
In the store on Euclid and Woodward.
Yeah, that's what he's done. That's the co-op.
You can see the progress.
Yes, it's already there.
And his farm is on Outer Drive.
In Rouge
Chicago
Park. In Rouge Park.
and Plenty, right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
huge place.
Yes.
He had
I worked at his school in Soroma for a while. He had in Soroma Institute for 26 years. I was Baba Chungalia was I was in the Bible club, and I taught the Nguzo Saba on the Saturdays to the children. It was every Saturday meeting we had with the children, giving them the 7 principles.
Well,
I did that for a lot of years.
Yeah, for the harvest. The lady that was just on the line, and I went over there for their harvest, and it's a huge place.
I know. It is.
But wait now.
It is. The Rouge Park's big. I've been with them for years over there in Rouge Park.
The best part, though, were the produce items that were purchased.
Yeah.
And they were excellent.
And this is co-oping. This ain't capitalism.
Right, exactly.
This ain't capitalism.
Exactly.
See, capitalism is a poison.
I bought some kale and collard greens.
Mm.
Now, when I get collard greens from any other produce market around, it takes time for them to cook. These that I bought at the harvest that was had, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago now, I guess, they cook so fast. I was just surprised. I was shocked, okay? They were delicious. But anyway, in the meantime, Tawana is back. She has to share some information with us.
Hello, Tawana. I apologize for hitting the wrong button.
No problem.
There's a project that Research has going on now. Go ahead.
Okay, we are at Barton McFarland, and which is sponsored by Hood Research. We have a project, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Okay, it's a community improvement project for Barton McFarland Neighborhood Association. The boundary lines include Roseline to Hubble, Tireman to Plymouth. And we are offering this project for those that live in our community to choose from one of the following or all three while the supplies last. And this project ends on December the 31st. A solar lawn lamp, a Ring doorbell, dormant grass seating on the front lawn, and a 1-year free subscription to Barton McFarland membership. And I'd like to remind everyone that our conference calls is the second Friday of each month, and that number is 978-5000, access code 338-729 pound.
Okay, wait now. The number, Tawana.
Yes.
The telephone number, area code 978, is 990-5000.
Oh, I'm going to have to change that.
Okay.
It's 990-5000.
Yes.
I'm glad you told me that. I got to correct that.
And then the access code.
Again, the access code 338-729 pound.
Mm-hmm.
And to contact our community for the above items, the number is 248-469
yes
8585 or 1-833-232-7202. Again, that contact number is 248-469-8585 or 1-833-232-7220.
Okay. And
yeah,
they're also included as a little note that the city of Detroit is planting trees free of charge. And the number for the city, if you're interested in having a tree planted in front of your home, what is that number?
That number is 313-241-6426. Again, 313-241-6426.
Mm-hmm.
And the email for that is DTEP, as in Paul, at DetroitMI.gov.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
and believe it or not, Bill, a lot of people, and it's true because it's the holidays, are fearful of giving their information, and the only thing that we're asking is for their name and phone number and email address, and they'll do the confirmation when the technician gets to the house, you know, to their resident.
Mm-hmm.
So please, everybody, this is a blessing to our community. And yes, thanks to Hood Research, thanks to Barton McFarland, we want to share the wealth with our community free of charge.
Right. Thank you, Tawana, for sharing that information. And the Ring doorbell installation is a way of helping to add to some security in your area as well.
Yeah, it makes me think of when we had Neighborhood Watch was a good program. And we had so many wonderful programs, but we didn't sustain them and we didn't insist that they remain. And that's how we lose things. So I hope you all had a chance to get that information that Tawana was sharing with you and then use it. Don't just have knowledge and not use it. Use it.
That's right. Now, within that, I think it was number 4, cooperative economics, that also includes purchasing from each other's businesses as well to help support that, right?
Mm-hmm. And we move on to Kawumba, creativity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have to take nothing and make something out of it. That's Maulana's definition in the Simba Wachunga handbook. Kawumba, creativity. to take nothing and make something out of it. And creativity is something that we inherited from our melanin, who we are. We are templates of African genetics, and produced us, mixed with this Caucasian hormone, and we've dominated them so heavily that they scared to be us around. That's why they have population control. They got to get rid of us. We're making so many children. And we grow, vibrations, but creativity.
And I want to expound on that. When we look at, let's just say, the bebop era, when we had like the Thelonious Monks, the Miles Davis, our creativity took us around the world. We look at Josephine Baker in Paris, because we weren't really respected here, so we had to take our talents elsewhere. We look at how hip-hop or rap music has dominated the world. Motown, and Theo, is definitely one when she speaks about Motown and how our people were ambassadors worldwide. So everybody imitated us, but it was our creativity that drew them to us. And not only drew them to us, but they respected our creativity so much that they couldn't deny it, which is why our, we like water. We just spread everywhere. Once you pour it, it just spread. The melanin, everything just spread. So we have people, whether it was, and Theo said this a number of times, the youth would dress like the Temptations, Smokey Robinson, the Supremes, and all that. Now we've got, it's a little unfortunate because they've kind of tainted it. But hip hop in its originality, we had guys who were wearing Adidas like DMC or wearing the hats or the chains or something like that. But then gangster rap kind of came in there, and that just changed the whole game. But I'm just going to the point that we're talking about creativity. We are the creators, small c, from the creator, big C. Even in the scripture, and I just kind of jump around on things, but Psalm 82:6 says, "Have I not said ye are gods?" Now that's with a small g, but it's still that, and even I believe it was John 10:34, I believe it is. I might have that wrong, but I know it's in the book of John where it says, "Is it not written in your books, I have said ye are gods?" They were speaking to us because we're talking about on the African continent, number one. People try to disassociate Egypt, Ethiopia, and some of these countries with Africa because the creativity of the pyramids and all the things that were done, the technology, that was from us. But it's like, wow, we can't acknowledge how good they are, because then they will realize what they can do. So long as that, like, what you say, technology kills humanity. That's what's happening.
But we the melanin that they need for their growth. See, we created them through the albino and genetics. We created the European. But it came through us. Everything came out of the darkness. I tell children all the time, check this proverb out. What was here before light? We don't even need light if you never had dark. Right. Why you need light? So say everything came out of the dark. So our melanin is what they need. But there's so many of us, we dominating him. So he want to keep us at a small minority. He can use our melanin, but the melanin is dominating. Now you got to have population control.
Oh, and the pandemic did a lot of that. What's the definition of number 6?
6 is about balance, fairness, and judgment in numerology. And the sixth sign of Kwanzaa is what you're talking about. We're going on we're following the steps of Kwanzaa, correct? Okay.
I just had to reflect back on numerology too.
What I want to say quickly, because I know that you have to really give a good definition of it. We're at the top of the hour. We got to take this break.
What's a good definition?
Already?
Yeah. So we get getting ready to take our
what kind of clock are you using? No. Anyway.
Time go fast when you're having fun. Time go fast when you're having fun.
Oh, man, we are enjoying ourselves. But we have to take a station identification break. So call folks and tell them what a wonderful time you are enjoying this morning. And we will be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Woody Woodland here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the chew germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
We are back, and we are really enjoying getting all this knowledge this morning. And our guest this morning is Chungalia, and we really are proud and happy that he has been able to join us. And before this time runs out real fast again, I want to ask Chungalia to share with us the formula that all of you may be interested in learning. Chungalia.
Well, it's a basic formula of numerology. It's called balanced vision. A brother named Woody Bryan that created the soul expressions back in the day in Detroit. If you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. He had 2 soul expressions. And if balanced vision has a formula. And the formula go like this. Add today's date down to 1 digit. Take your birth number, add it to the universal number, and you get a personal number for that day only. Take your personal number, add it to the universal number, and you get a reality number for that day only. Now you have 3 numbers for the day. The first one happens in the morning, and at 12 noon, at 1 o'clock, the second one happens. And that takes you to 6 o'clock. Then the third one happens. Then like if it's a 1 day, tomorrow going to be a 2 day. And the next day going to be a 3 day. And the next day going to be a 4 day. And on down the line. So all you got to really do is add the date up one time in 9 days. And the next number will be all the way to the second day, the third day, the fourth day, all the way up to number 9. Then you go back to the 1. And this philosophy works. Until you get to the end of the month, you got to add the days down to 1 day, because some months got 30 days, some months got 31 days. You get confused. But whatever the universal number is for that day, it tells the reality for everybody living, everything living until 1 o'clock. Then you take your birth number, add to that, it tells you your reality number. And your reality is what you should be doing during that day. Then at 6 o'clock, you take your reality, your personal number all day, and take your personal number and you manifest your personal devices in the middle of the day. Then at 6 o'clock, you add it to the universal number, and you get your reality number from 6 until midnight. But, now that numerology, I teach it over the phone. People call me. I don't charge a dime. People call me. I don't know my number.
Yes, you can do that, brother.
The number people call me on is area code 313-532-1864. It's a landline. Don't be texting nothing to it. It's been on for 40 years.
I know.
And I ain't giving up to technology like most people.
I know.
There's a lot of things I don't go along with Americanism, and I put the brakes on it. I've been putting the brakes on stuff since the 60s when Marlon named me. There's a lot of stuff we do not need to be doing in this country that we still doing. And, our children, it's contagious, and our children are adapting the wrong things from watching us.
Yeah, it's true.
I hope we don't play that. But you call that number, and I teach people how to do the numbers in 20 minutes on the phone. I don't charge a dime. I'm just glad to serve, because we got to learn to serve each other. Service is the most honorable thing you can do.
Give me your number again, brother.
Area code 313-532-1864. Call anytime. Vibrations.
And the brother's name is Chungalia. So when you call, just remember Chungalia.
Want me to spell it for you? Chungulia. Chungalia.
Now, we left off with cooperative economics, and after that, we went to Kaumba, which is creativity, making something out of nothing.
Okay, making something out of nothing. Creativity is the essence of how you exercise your melanin. Now, we got responsibility having all this melanin in the soul, bruh. We got to shed his soul. And you can't get creative. How you going to shed his soul? Creativity is take nothing, which are us, and make something out of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything's internal. It's not external.
We were created out of nothing. Okay, next.
You go to having a purpose. Like they say. Like they say, if Nia is not in effect, you can stand for everything, but if a person without a purpose will fall for anything. If you ain't got no purpose, you fall for anything. So you got to stand up on your purposes to enforce these values. And it's number 6, about purpose. Have a positive purpose. And things you learn going to do, make a purpose in making it happen. Don't just be hypocritical.
Right.
Want to go to
Wonderful.
7?
Yes.
Number 7 is Imani, faith. All these principles, from unity, self-determination, Kaumba, creativity, all of them don't mean nothing if you ain't got no faith. If you ain't got no faith, they're going to all fall down like dominoes. So faith is what leads us into the motivation of self-determination. Everything needs faith. If you got faith in your art, then you ain't going to like it, then ain't nobody else going to like it.
And it will show.
And it will show. Because not having faith is what they call shameful. It's shameful to not have some kind of faith in something.
Yeah, matter of fact, you know, when you think about it, the opposite, what it actually does when you don't have it is it destroys whatever it is you could have created or built because you have nothing to go on. And faith is basically the fuel for everything, as you were saying. All the other things that come up 1 through 6, without faith, which is the fuel, them other things will never manifest.
Faith in the world, faith in yourself, faith in the nation. See, all these 7 principles we just said, they all have 7 levels. This aren't being personified. I barely remember all of them, but they were in the Quotable Karinga book for the Simba Wachangas. And I know the unity starts in self, family, community, neighborhood, state, and nation, and down the line. You know, and all them principles have 7 values to them internally, and we don't know them all, but it's been distorted. But we still have to use the principles.
The pamphlet or booklet that you speak of, is it available for purchase?
I don't know. I haven't seen one since 1968.
Oh wow!
It's little green. It's a green paperback manual for the Simba Wachangas to learn the Nguza Saba. He was a Nguza Saba handbook. You know, and it was just a little green paperback that was made by some of the sisters in the organization, but it was so powerful. You know, all the Simbas had to go by it. It was a guideline for being a Simba Wachanga. In us organization, they say, know the Quotable Karinga. And we chose to name him Maulana. Maulana means master teacher. I slipped once and said brother in the conversation. He stopped me. So you know you don't refer to me as brother. And I said, Nisamehe Maulana. That's pardon me, Maulana. See, when you learn things at a hardcore discipline, they stay with you. And I learned Swahili that way, and it stays with me. Out of all them elders, I was only 15, 16, 17 years old. These are older than me, but I learned Swahili in them 3.5 years of being under that. And I still speak it very, very fluently.
Wow.
Using an expression that I like too, hardcore teaching, because anything that's less than that does not ingrain itself. It doesn't take root. And if it doesn't take root, then I guess even like the parables where they say he cast his seed on rock and through weeds and this, that, and the other. And parables are important too because they make what's easy, make it easier for the masses to understand. And this is something I was discussing with Theo on the way. Sometimes because of whatever level of knowledge, I had a buddy like this, and I kept trying to tell him, like, whoa. I say, you on this level, but the person you're talking to is not there yet. So you have to come down to where they're at. Otherwise, communication is not going to be taking place. You have to start where a person is at. Because when brothers told me some things, when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, it was some brothers with some powerful knowledge, but it was so deep, it was so heavy, so profound. I'm looking at them like we were saying, and Tawana was saying, they look at you sometimes like you nuts or something like that, but it's because they know. But the brothers hadn't broke it down enough for me to be able to, you know, if you plant that seed and you nurture it, it's going to grow into what it's supposed to be, because all seeds grow after their kind. But again, that's why I said, you know, the brother that I dealt with, you know, I told him, I said, look, brother, you and me, we studied under some very deep men, but we can't expect the average brother, although we love them, the brother and sister, we want them to know and to grasp this, but we have to start where they're at. So, you know, I'm just saying that in reference to what we're saying now, brother, that sometimes we have to, you know, it's like, you know, before you can teach children language, you got to teach them letters. You know, they have to learn then how to put them letters together, and then, as Theo knows, because we've dealt with a lady on phonics before, then you have to teach them how to pronounce that. Then you teach them how to put that together. That's where your sentences and paragraphs and your ideas form. But without starting at the first grade or kindergarten, you can forget trying to teach them some 12th grade trigonometry. It just ain't going to work.
I'm impressed with your theory on that. You're absolutely right, especially when you start off with Proverbs. See, I've been a victim of the LA school system, and I have a literacy problem. I missed it in 1980. They had a class action lawsuit in Los Angeles about people going over the stage getting a high school diploma, didn't know the ABCs. But I was in the 60s, so I missed that in the 80s. But it's all right. That's all right. I got the glory from not having that stop my perception to see. And so I do know I'm a poet and didn't know it also. And in 1968, I held the attention at LACC College every lunchtime, they called me the teabag poet. Throw a word at me, I give you a poem out of that word, give you a poem. That's the way how good I was. But believe me, there's a slogan I like to give you, and we all need to understand. If all slogans mean a lot, I have a lot of them. Here's a major one. You get out of life what you asked for, but you end up with what you settle for.
Yeah.
Get to that now.
Yeah.
Get to that now.
Yeah.
Get out of
Say it
life what
again,
you asked for, but you gonna end up with what you settle for.
That's true.
Now, what does that mean? Don't settle for nothing less than
Right.
the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people, here go another one. Class is recognized all over this planet. So is trash.
Oh.
You know, that Proverbs mean a whole lot.
I like that. I like
Baraka
that.
gave me a good one. Leroy Jones. To stumble is not to fall, but to move forward much faster. Head first.
And that's true.
Wow.
Proverbs mean a lot.
And you know, that's one of the things I have to say on my own personal level. Like, you know, when I look at scriptures, and I look at all scriptures, not just Christian scriptures, but I'm saying Hindu, whatever. But one of the things I liked about Proverbs is that it's a very deep statement in a short space. Because sometimes people take too much time to explain something where a proverb could just nail it. Like the three things you just said, brother. Yeah, you don't have to say a lot of words to say a lot.
To make
you
a
know?
point.
Yeah.
Make a point. But we all got to realize, don't accept less than the best.
All right.
How you going to be the best if you accept less than the best? Yes,
Right. Okay. Now, would you write this down? Okay. We want to start from the end.
I was going to tell them to text it to me because I was trying to get it, but
Right.
you know, there's a lot to it.
You know, I tell these young people, the best way to come at me is the way you won't come at me. And that is with a pencil and a pad because you're on the computers. You come with me with a pencil and a pad, you're going to walk with something. You with the computers, you're going to be, because I can give a book of Proverbs. I'm a poet and didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And I was raised on Dr. Leroy Jones, led with us organization the whole year of 67. Okay, he taught us how to do a poem with plum. He taught us the security guards do body gesture. The only way we learn body gesture is put a plum in your mouth and make the whole crowd laugh at you. Then you learn body gesture. Strange, but we did that. Baraka taught us a lot of poetry in us organization in 67.
Yeah, I got a lot of his books too. Before he changed, he became Leroy Jones, and then became Amiri Baraka and his son.
I knew him personally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His son. I don't know. I guess he's still the mayor of.
No, he passed.
Oh, he passed.
He's ancestor. Yeah, he's
Ross.
ancestor. Yeah, he was the Lord portrait of Newark, New Jersey. They was in Newark, New Jersey.
Right,
He was the mayor of Newark, New Jersey.
No, he
his
was
son.
His son was the mayor.
But he was the honorary
Newark, New Jersey.
poet of Newark, New Jersey.
Oh,
Baraka
wow.
Leroy Jones.
Yeah.
No.
Now, number 9. You ready for this? Number 9 is completion.
Right.
Number 8 is what?
Business and deep insights. I mean, let me run it to you and write them down, please. If you get it right fast, I'll write them as slow as possible.
Yeah,
One
right,
is
slow.
new beginnings.
See, you starting at the beginning. I'm trying to work back.
Well, it's because it's a plan. If you see the business plan, which one you want to know, sister?
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Now two.
Well, here you go. 1 is new beginnings. 2 is cooperation. 3 is optimism.
Hold on. 3 is optimism.
Okay.
You got those 3?
Okay, I wish I knew shorthand.
I know. Optimism.
Okay, I got optimism. Yeah.
Okay.
4 is organizing and planning.
Oh, that was me. Okay, organizing and planning.
Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 5.
Number 5.
5 is change.
Change. Okay.
6 is balance and fairness.
Oh, yeah. That was Tawana. Balance and fairness.
Okay, 7.
7 is concentration and meditations.
Oh. Concentration. Meditation.
Okay.
8 is business, money, and deep insights.
Business.
Money and deep insights.
Dollar sign for money. So
Deep-
that's
and
short.
deep insights.
Deep insights.
Deep insight.
Okay.
I'll tell you that in a minute. And 9 is one word, completion.
Completion.
9 is one word, completions. Let me tell you about the 8.
Okay.
9 is completions. You got that down?
Right.
Okay, now let me tell you about the 8.
Okay, number 8.
8 is the number of infinity. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you turn them, each one of them circles at 360 degrees, and 720, it has the power of number 8. 8 is the only sign in the zodiac that's ruled by 3 planets, Mars, Mercury, and Pluto. The dark secrets. You turn the 8 sideways, you got the sign of infinity, the way into life and the way out of life. This is why back in ancient day, archaeologists couldn't find their way into the circle of astrology, because there's no end, no begin to a circle until you turn the 8 sideways. You got the way into life and the way out of life. The way Scorpio's ruled by Scorpio's about the power of life. And Scorpio rules the sex organ, the tip of your sex organ. But Scorpio's key is I desire. So it's a sign of life and death. You say Alpha and Omega. It's all of it in them 360s. So 8 got to be business, money, and deep insights. That's the metaphor of life.
Money and deep insights.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And 9 is completion. But see, it's a cycle plan. Let me say it real quick so you can see the cycle. 1 is new beginnings. 2 is cooperation. 3 is optimism. 4 is organize and plan it. 5 is change it. 6 is balance it. 7 is concentrated. 8 is take care of the business of it. Then you got to have the completion for the new beginning to come again. And do it all over. It's a cycle.
All right.
I got it.
I teach this story of how to live life over the phone whenever it rings and somebody call and want to learn about balanced vision. I tell them, get a notebook, sheet of paper, and a pencil, and take some dictation and write down everything I have. Now, if they can't do the dictation, because I can read and write proud myself, I got a way to teach them. Well, a 9-day plan, I can teach that with just numbers, without words. You know, but they gonna know before they leave home with me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things. What is it? Another, I guess it's a saying, not necessarily perish. My people perish for lack of vision, but that also for lack of knowledge. Yeah, and that's one of the things we do. And then within our community, the distractions are so much. You know, and I did because I'm a writer, poet, rapper, lyricist, that whole thing. And one of the things that I took note of is that how. Well, number one, we get caught up in the slogan. So if a commercial comes on TV where they got a phone number, they got a jingle or something, we get caught up in the wrong kind of teaching, you know, which is more commercialism and capitalism. I understand that because they understand psychology too. That's why people go out and buy stuff that they don't even want just because, or I might not even need a roof on my house, but I know 1-800-Mr. Roof, right? Because they just said it so many times. And that's how they tap into the mind that way. And we just haven't learned how to tap into the positive things that we need and then ingrain them in ourselves. But like I say, with all these commercials, man, there's so many things that we know that we don't even need to know that just is junk in our mind.
Good. I got someone say to you about commercial advertisement. Do you know I've been passing out that video I gave to you?
Right.
And that video I gave to you wasn't even 2 months ago. And you watched it. And you respond to it. It's magic on that video. Do you know I've been going in my back pocket since 2009, giving away these videos? They're in my back pocket. Right. Okay, all the time since 2009. And do you know all the people I've given them to? Ain't but I bet you 1/10 has watched them and called. You watched them right away. You saw the value of it. People got to watch that video I be giving them. I wouldn't be giving them the same video all the time. It wasn't about no power.
Right.
But you watched it, and you see.
Well,
and now here we are.
That's why I said that some people aren't ready, because when I was told things in my late teens and early 20s, it was a little bit too much for me, and maybe my teenage youth and all the other energy that was coming into my life meant more. Maybe chasing, you know, dating. I was playing rock and roll guitar. All that got into that, but there was always something. And I'll just say this is what I think anyway. There's an innate thing that sometimes the right person can awaken in you, and then you set up on that path to gain more knowledge. But some people, it's not really innate in them. And then we had spoke, you know, extremely briefly on reincarnation. But what I'll say about that is this, that sometimes, you know, let's just say in the evolution of the soul, I've got to this point where I can appreciate what you're saying. But some people are not at that point in evolution of their soul where they could actually grasp it. So when they look at you, they listen to us, they say, oh man, they nuts talking that stuff, you know. But I know that they're not ready. So I respect that. You know, I have to respect it because I wasn't ready at one time.
But to remember the quote, bro, in the end, only the righteous will survive. Sorry to say that, but it's true. And we have to learn the problem now in the era that we're in, the problems are internal. They're not external. I tell you, when I get to the mic like I am now, I'm honored to get a chance to give people this proverb. Back in the age of Pisces of confusion, in the age of when they stole us from Africa, God had many names. Allah, Jehovah, Witness, all them names. God got scared of people. God hid inside of everybody, and he's waiting to talk to you in the mirror. The problem is internal. It's not external.
It's always
no more.
internal.
Yeah, but see, that's what's going to create the righteousness survive. You were just talking about some people, how they can't grasp that consciousness. Well, some people from their previous reincarnation and reincarnation to this reincarnation, they're not ready for it yet.
Right.
You can't push them into what they ain't ready for.
Right, exactly.
Just because you're ready. Your soul has reincarnated enough to see this. See, we're coming from previous reincarnations to now, and we'll be going to other reincarnations. Death is divine in nature. Death ain't scary and ugly and painful.
Right.
If you knew what it really was, you might want to go, but ain't nobody come back.
Right.
Tell us about it, right?
It says, but it's divine in nature.
Yeah.
What's number 2?
Number 2 was cooperation.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of which child is it. I'm trying to put my children together. And then the other one was, you said 2. Okay, that's the youngest one. Okay, now 3.
Is,
4 is 7. What's 7?
Okay, 7 is concentration and meditation.
Oh.
When I meet a 7 person, first thing I tell them is, you think too much, don't you? They say, how'd you know?
But, that's another thing, too, like when you say look in the mirror, because, again, like I've studied a lot of different religions and philosophies, and one of the things that it says, most of them say, is you have to meditate. Now, there's an expression that I like, they say, prayer is when you talk to God, and meditation is when God talks to you. And so, but we don't, it's hard for us in this society anyway to sit still long enough to get rid of all the thoughts that come at us during the day. That's why late at night or early in the morning before your head gets clouded with the world, it's easier to get into just, your breathing, just getting into things where you learn about, as you say, that the innate, the inner self, you got to start on the inside. But once you get, like, okay, we're in the course of the day now, right? So I might be driving into some traffic, that's then got into my system. And whatever else I experience visually or through my ears is going to get into my system. So we have to find time for that concentration. And it's hard for people to concentrate, too, as well, because it's just like, your mind is like a book that's in the wind where the pages keep flipping. So it's just flipping to so many different things. Concentration is hard. That's why only people who, in my opinion, who are successful are those who can focus. Focus is a hard thing to do right now for a lot of people, but I'm training myself every day. Well, when I get up in the morning and when I go to bed at night, TV's off. I ain't got none of that outside energy coming in, and I just sit, and I let that breathing come in, and then start getting into a focus mode and getting in a single frame of thought. There was something, I don't remember the quote, but it was something that either Confucius or Buddha said that was, if a man could focus on a thought for 3 minutes, I'm just using this as an analogy because I don't remember the real quote, he could rule the world. But it's hard for us to get into a focus mode. But we have to, as a people, we got to focus because otherwise we leaves that have fallen this autumn, and every time the wind blow, we just scatter it even more, And so rather than letting your energy scatter, they must be concentrated, And that's where that concentration and meditation come in.
My doctor, Minister Saladin, he's in such control of his life and his atoms that go through him. He retired from the Army. And he's in 60, back in the 74, he was community relations expert, and now that he's taken over Brother Kahaji's place in the Kabaz and has the Ascending Church of the Cosmic Christ, we meet every Sunday, and we study the degrees of the sun and what's going on in nature. And this brother, he lives a life like you've spoken of. He doesn't let anyone in his dome unless it's of his choice, because he chooses his everyday reality all day long, and he makes his world be the way he wants it to be. And see, that's the only way we're going to achieve the mortality that we're looking for, is to use self-determination, Kuchagalia, and define for us, and not be defined for by others, to speak for ourselves and not be spoken for by others, and build our own world, and don't let television or media come into your environment, changing your world for you, into your thought process, because your thoughts will create your universe and your world. Control it. Don't let other elements dominate that from you.
Wow.
Well, we're rolling up on the bottom of the hour, so time flies, as you say, when we're having fun, but we're having fun.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us, and we would like you to join us again in the future.
Whenever.
And I say to people when we get to the end of our show, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to bring and to share with you and encourage you to share with us. That helps us all make better informed decisions. Davidi. The Hood Research email is contact@hoodresearch.org. That's contact@hoodresearch.org. The telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We encourage you to look for us. If you can't write down everything, just Google Hood Research and we'll pop up. And we want you to join us. We also have a conference call each and every Saturday from 3 p.m. until 6. We have been manning this conference call now for 2.5 years. It started when the pandemic caused everybody to stay in their homes for safety reasons, and many people were being depressed, and so they started calling us, telling us how sad they were and depressed they were. So we started the conference call so that people could still communicate and talk about issues. And we've continued that, as I've said, for 2.5 years. Anyway, we look forward to you joining us and being a part of Hood Research.
And as I always say at the end of every show, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished.
And thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to you being with us in the future.
It's an honor being here, and I enjoyed it. And I hope you all ask me to come again. I will be here.
We certainly
because I'm trying to do one of the most honorable things we all do, and that is serve. We have to serve each other. What you sow is what you will get back. What go around, come around.
Absolutely.
So join us again next Monday at 9 a.m. Hood Research Feedback.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Vibration.
Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.